My name is Caitlin Hillenbrand, and this is my persuasive speech. First, let me introduce you to my audience. Let's get started. Today, I'm going to speak with you about hunger and poverty. And it is all over the world, but not only that, I'm going to focus on the country of Nigeria specifically. Okay, so hunger and poverty is a big issue everywhere. Have you ever had to wonder where your next meal was going to come from? Or if you were going to have the money to even pay for it? And you have to wonder how long you're going to go without eating and what you're going to do to survive? Well, there's children all over the world, especially in Africa, in the country of Nigeria, that have to wonder this. And not only the children, but the whole family. Now, this is an issue that has been going on in the world for a very long time. And we need to help find a way that we can help it. Okay, now let's talk about Nigeria. Nigeria is one of 25 of the poorest nations in the entire world. So this is a really big issue because when you don't have the money to support, when you don't have the money, you won't have money to buy food, which is what happens with these families. 70% of their population is considered poor, which means they don't have the money that will sustain them through life. Due to all the issues that they have with being poor and not having the nutrition, that has caused their life expectancy to go down. So the average person will only live to be the age of 50 years old, which is a big issue because all these people will be dying from the diseases that they catch from not having the food to feed them and from malnutrition and everything like that. Nigeria is often seen as a paradox because this is a country that is such a large country and it actually has a very large population and a lot of people there. But there is so much poverty amidst so much of regular life that because of the way of life there, the government and everything like that is why the people cannot sustain themselves because they don't have the money or the food available. Okay, they have a bad government, poor economic policies, they have ill-timed reforms, corruption in the government, and corruption in all of the systems. And then there's a lack of commitment to poverty. And this can cause many issues, which leads to the fact that these people don't have the money to buy food and they don't have money to sustain their life, so they will in turn go through these issues with poverty and malnutrition. And there is a really poor investment in the agriculture there. They don't spend enough money to actually help produce food themselves, and due to this there is less food for them to have, which means that they're going to have to get their food from other sources, which means the money is going to cost more money, and which is money that they don't have. Okay. I have two images here. Above there's an image of a woman trying to cook food because their food that they get, often it's not what we would see as like great food. They get like, they mix flour with water and they eat a paste-like substance, which that's like great for them because they don't get the food that we get. They often get just rice, which causes, they don't have the nutrition that they need with all of this. Hunger is caused by many things, such as the drought, disease, and war. This has caused them to go on these many issues. They're not producing enough food, which means the food is not there for them. They have to get it elsewhere, which causes it to be a lot more difficult and more issues involved. And on top of that, the income they don't have. They don't have income to buy food, which means that they have to try and find work to get their food, but there's not the jobs available that they can have. The first thing that we need to realize is to reduce the hunger, we first need to reduce the poverty. Okay. Now, some of the poverty in Nigeria, there is poor families, they spend up to 80% of their money on their food, which means that extra 20% has to go for everything else. All of their living costs, everything else that they need besides food. They don't have the money for that. And like I said earlier, the higher prices can lead to malnutrition because if you don't have the money to buy the food, you're not going to be able to get it, which means you're going to not be nourished what you need. And with the food that they do get sometimes, it's not the food that will sustain you like you need to be. There is 3.5 million children a year that die from hunger and malnutrition and not getting what they need to survive. In Nigeria, the government does not provide the social services that you need. It doesn't help with like the education and the food and the health, which causes a lot of these children to die. And if the children die, that means that the future generations are going to be, they're not going to be as well because there's not going to be as many people because they have died due to all these issues. 21 of 36 countries in food crisis are in the sub-Saharan Africa region. So this can cause many different issues, and it means that we not only need to worry about ourselves, but we need to worry about people away from us. They die from these diseases and hunger on a daily basis. Okay. I have an image that shows the rate of wealth, and the lighter images are the lesser money, and there is not very many areas in Nigeria that have enough money. Ways that we can help is there's many different organizations that you can help donate to, because I know on your own it doesn't seem like there's as much you can do, but there's helpful organizations everywhere that you can donate to that will help these children and these families specifically. Some of the few that I know of pretty well is World Vision. This helps many different countries throughout the world. And a lot of them included in Africa. They help find solutions to the cause of poverty with food, health, clean water, education, and many other things. There's also called the Grace Foundation, and they assist the poor, but they make it so you don't need to be dependent on them to live. So they really help you get your foot in and help you start the way that you need to. And I have actually used the World Vision before, and I have personally found a lot of help in using that. Okay, so in a review, I think that poverty and hunger are something that really need to be helped because it's causing many people to die, and it's going to ruin the future generations, and it's something that needs to be helped. I hope that after hearing this presentation, you will want to help towards poverty and hunger everywhere. Okay, thank you. And then here are some of my citations. I found scholarly articles on academic search premier, and thank you for watching. This is my audience again.